Okay, so now let's go on to our next topic today, chlorine. अभी तक हम लोगों ने सारे जनरल कैरेक्टरिस्टिक्स करे हेलोजेंस के, किस तरह से वो हाइड्राइड्स बनाता है, ऑक्साइड्स बनाता है, ऑक्साइड्स बनाता है, क्या उसकी प्रॉपर्टीज है. So next what we are going to discuss over here, that is chlorine, right? Now when we are talking of chlorine that was discovered by Scheele. Scheele was the scientist who first gave us an idea of chlorine, and in 1810 Davy was the scientist who gave us the elementary idea of chlorine. ठीक है? And he was the one who named it chlorine due to its color, which is greenish yellow. So chlorus, that comes from the word green, right? You know what chloroform is, ना? जो plants में present रहते हैं, that is green in color. So that is how we are getting this name, greenish yellow in color. Okay. Now when we are talking of chlorine that is very widely distributed in nature, and it is mostly found in the combined state rather than found in the native state. And combined state में it forms the following chlorides. The first one, which is Sulphide. Sulphide is HCl. Okay. And then we have Carnallite. Carnallite is a double salt of HCl dot MgCl2 dot 6 molecules of water of crystallization. ठीक है? Then we have chloraptite. Chloraptite. This is both. It has both. You can say chlorine as well as phosphorus. So it is calcium phosphate ठीक है, calcium phosphate dot CaCl2. And then we have horn silver. So that is another this thing, horn silver, that is an alloy type of a thing which is present. So this is how we get chlorides. Then you know of rock salt NaCl, which has a large value of or large amount of chloride which is going to be present in it. So let's go on to the preparation of chlorine. Preparation जब हम chlorine का करते हैं, it is by the oxidation of hydrochloric acid. First method is by oxidation of hydrochloric acid. The oxidation of hydrochloric acid may be done with manganese dioxide. To give us a greenish yellow gas, which is going to be chlorine. Also with red lead, that is Pb3O4, जब इसको हम लोग HCl के साथ react करते हैं, then it is going to give us plus chlorine, right? So this is how we can get chlorine. But when we are doing the preparation in the laboratory, lab preparation, then in that case oxidation of HCl is done by manganese dioxide. So the first reaction which we have done over here, that is going to be the lab preparation. Right? So the reaction which we can write is MnO2 plus 4 HCl to give us MnCl2 plus 2H2O plus chlorine. Right? Now over here when we are preparing it in the laboratory, it is seen that there is a yellowish green gas which is going to be evolved. That yellowish green gas, that is going to be chlorine. ठीक है? Now this is contaminated with two things. One, it is contaminated with water, and the second contamination is due to HCl. So these are the two impurities which are going to be present. Now how do we remove these impurities? The gas which is evolved, that is first passed through water. So when we are passing it through water, it is going to remove the HCl gas. And then in the second step, we pass H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4, we know that concentrated H2SO4 is going to behave as a dehydrating agent. तो वो क्या करेगा? Water को इसमें से remove कर लेगा, ठीक है? So दो impurities इसमें present है, water और HCl. हम क्या करते हैं? First step में इसको जो गैस निकलती है उसको water के through pass करते हैं, उससे HCl remove हो जाएगी और फिर concentrated H2SO4 के साथ जब pass करेंगे तो water remove हो जाएगा, ठीक है? Then second laboratory preparation is, this is the first one. The second laboratory preparation is by the action of HCl on KMnO4. KMnO4 is potassium permanganate, which is known for its oxidizing properties and intense violet color. So इसके साथ जब हम लोग react करते हैं, that is we have HCl. This is going to give us plus chlorine. Okay? So this is how chlorine that is going to be liberated. Right? Now when we are going to chlorine over here, let's go on to the uses of chlorine. What are the uses of chlorine? Chlorine has extensive uses. It is used in many you can say day-to-day life में हम chlorine को use करते हैं. The first one is it is used in the manufacture of bleaching powder. In the manufacture of bleaching powder. ठीक है? Then number 2, also in the manufacture of chlorates, chlorides, then similarly hypochlorites, hypohalous acids. So it is used as a reagent to form many compounds. जैसे even for that matter ClCl3 which is chloroform and CCl4 which is carbon tetrachloride जो कि use होता है in solvents. Then it is used in the purification of drinking water. In the purification of drinking water as a disinfectant it is used. Then it is used in bleaching action, in which we generally bleach pulp of paper, ठीक है? Wood, it is used for bleaching action of this. Then it is used in the extraction of gold and platinum. Extraction of gold and platinum, and it is used in the manufacture of various poisonous gases, for example COCl2 which is known as phosgene, right? Then we have CCl3 NO2, this is known as tear gas, ठीक है? And then we have mustard gas, this is known as mustard gas, right? Now then when we are looking at the manufacture of chlorine, ये uses आ गए, let's go on to the manufacture of chlorine. The manufacture of chlorine that is done by the Dyakin's process. The first one, it is done by the Deccan's process. In Deccan's process, we are going to oxidize HCl with oxygen in presence of a catalyst, which is CuCl2. The reaction that is going to take place at a temperature of 723 Kelvin to give us chlorine 2H2O. Okay? Now the reaction over here, that is going to be reversible, and therefore it results in only 65% conversion. So only 65% of HCl that is converted to Cl2. The second process is the electrolytic process. Electrolysis of किसका कर रहे हैं हम? Aqueous NaCl. So if you remember this reaction, we've already done in electrochemistry. Aqueous NaCl, that is going to give us Na positive plus Cl negative, and because it is aqueous, so H2O, which is going to give us H positive and OH negative. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद reaction at the cathode. At cathode, because of higher electrode potential of hydrogen, that is going to be liberated at the cathode. ठीक है? और फिर उसके बाद एनोड पे ड्यू टू हाई ओवर वोल्टेज, वी हैव ऑलरेडी डिस्कस्ड दिस इन इलेक्ट्रोकेमिस्ट्री, ड्यू टू ओवर वोल्टेज द रिएक्शन दैट इज गोइंग टू बी द प्रोडक्शन ऑफ chlorine at the anode. Right? Now when we looking at the properties of chlorine, number one, physical properties पहले देखते हैं. Number one, we've already studied that it is a greenish yellow gas. It is going to be a greenish yellow gas. Number two, it has a strong pungent suffocating odor. Strong pungent suffocating odor. ठीक है? Number three, it is a poisonous gas and causes headache. It is a poisonous gas causing headache. Then number four, it is heavier than air and soluble in water. Soluble in water, and its solution in water, that is known as chlorine water. Its solution in water, that is known as chlorine water. Let's go on to the chemical properties. When we are going on to the chemical properties, it is a very reactive gas due to its high electronegativity. We've just studied when we were doing all the halogens. So after fluorine, chlorine is going to be the most reactive gas over here, and that is because of its high electronegativity. ठीक है? So number one, action on litmus. Dry chlorine, it is seen, has no action on litmus. However, if we are taking moist chlorine, it is going to convert blue litmus to red. So we are saying that dry chlorine has no effect on litmus, whereas when we are taking moist chlorine, it is going to convert blue litmus to red. That is due to the reason that it produces hydrogen chloride. ठीक है? Or you can also write the reaction as HCl and HCl-O. So it is due to production of this HCl over here, that is the moist chlorine gas, that is going to turn blue litmus red. ठीक है? Now after turning blue litmus red, this is very important aspect over here is कि once it turns the blue litmus red, then it bleaches that same litmus paper. So red say that is going to be bleached. Now why that is happening? That is because of the reason the HCl which is formed over here, that will convert into HCl and oxygen. So it is this nascent oxygen which is responsible for the bleaching action of the litmus paper. ठीक है? So क्या हुआ? Moist हमने लिया था, moist से blue से red हो गया, फिर उसके बाद red से वो white हो जाता है. White क्यों हो रहा है? Because ये जो HCl यहाँ पे बना वो decompose हो गया into HCl and oxygen, और ये वाला जो oxygen है that is going to be responsible for the bleaching action of the litmus paper. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद second जो इसमें है that is combination with hydrogen. हाइड्रोजन के साथ जब ये कंबाइन करता है in presence of sunlight, it is going to form hydrochloric acid HCl. ठीक है? फिर उसके बाद नंबर 3 action with water. वाटर के साथ it is going to again give us HCl. Again the reaction that is going to take place in presence of sunlight. ठीक है? So it is going to give us HCl plus oxygen. So this is the third reaction. The fourth reaction is combination with metals. So with metals, when it is combining, it is going to give halides. It is seen that with reactive metals or active metals, it does not need any drastic conditions to convert. So it will be taking Na, which is an active metal, plus Cl2, it will give us 2 NaCl. ठीक है? Or if we are taking magnesium plus chlorine, it will combine to give us magnesium chloride. But in case of less reactive metals, if you're talking of iron over here, so iron के साथ the temperature has to be increased. So we are going to heat it to give us ferric chloride. Same is the case with aluminium. As aluminium is a less reactive metal, so the reaction mixture again has to be heated to give us AlCl3. ठीक है? So this is going to be the reaction with metals. फिर उसके बाद the next one is reaction with alkalis. This is an important reaction which we are discussing over here. With alkalis, it is seen that chlorine reacts in two different manners. One, it will react with cold and dilute alkali, or second, it will react with hot and concentrated alkali. We know what alkalis are. They are bases which are soluble in water. ठीक है? So दोनों के साथ अलग-अलग products ये हमें देता है. जैसे हम लोग ले रहे हैं chlorine plus 2NaOH. So this is cold and dilute. We are taking first. Cold and dilute. This is going to give us NaCl plus water, और इसके साथ it is going to give us NaClO, sodium hypochloride. नहीं, sorry, this is not sodium hypochloride. Sodium hypochloride, NaClO. This is going to give us sodium hypochloride. But at the same time, if it is reacting with hot and concentrated alkali, in this case it is going to give us sodium chlorate. NaClO3. ठीक है? So in both the cases, two compounds you can see they are the same. NaCl and water both are going to give, but if you are reacting with cold, we are going to get NaClO, and if you are reacting it with hot, we are going to get NaClO3. ठीक है? Similarly with ammonia also, if you are doing the reaction with ammonia, सो अमोनिया के साथ भी दो तरह से ये रिएक्ट करता है. In one case we are going to take chlorine in axis and in the other case we are going to take ammonia in axis. ठीक है? So when we are taking ammonia in axis, axis of ammonia plus Cl2, it is going to give us ammonium chloride plus nitrogen. But if we are taking chlorine in axis, this is an important reaction with respect to your boards. So यहाँ पे अगर हम chlorine in axis ले रहे हैं, it is going to give us NCl3, nitrogen trichloride plus HCl. This is a poisonous substance which is being produced over here. ठीक है? So अगर हम axis of ammonia लेते हैं तो हमें ammonium chloride plus nitrogen मिलेगा, और अगर हम axis of chlorine लेते हैं तो in that case we are going to get NCl3 plus 3HCl. Now a very important property of chlorine is its oxidizing nature. The oxidizing nature of chlorine is due to the production of nascent hydrogen when it is going to react with water. So this nascent hydrogen that is responsible for the reducing for the oxidizing properties of chlorine. Like for example, it converts sulfur dioxide to sulfate. So sulfur dioxide to sulfate. Similarly, it will convert sodium sulfite to sodium sulfate. ठीक है? Sulfite to sulfate. Now, when water is not present, over here you can see that the oxidizing properties are only due to oxygen. और वो oxygen कब produce होता है? When water is present. So what happens if water is not present? Will it still be able to oxidize? Yes, it does for certain metal chlorides. Like for example, if we are taking the following reactions, if it is we are taking into consideration the following reactions. In that case, even in absence of water, it is going to convert ferrous chloride to ferric chloride. So this is the oxidizing property of chlorine. ठीक है? In a similar manner, we see that stannous chloride can be converted to stannous chloride. Okay? Now we just saw when we were doing the uses that bleaching agent, it's used as a bleaching agent. So let's see what is this next property of chlorine, that is the bleaching action of chlorine. Bleaching action of chlorine is again due to liberation of oxygen when we are taking chlorine in moist conditions. So H2O की presence में अगर हम लोग ले रहे हैं तो हमारे पास 2HCl plus nascent oxygen आ रहा है. The bleaching action is due to oxygen over here. इसमें से question आता है boards में, why dry chlorine cannot be used as a bleaching agent? So answer उसमें क्या आएगा? तो in case of dry chlorine, nascent oxygen will not be produced. Therefore, it cannot be used as a bleaching agent. तो यहाँ पे क्योंकि bleaching agent या bleaching action जो है that is because of oxygen, therefore the bleaching action with chlorine that is going to be permanent. If you remember, we have done the bleaching action of sulfur dioxide also, ठीक है. So sulfur dioxide में जो bleaching action था, that was temporary and it was due to the presence of nascent hydrogen. और यहाँ पे हम क्या कह रहे हैं? It is due to presence of nascent oxygen. So this is the difference between both. Sulfur dioxide में the bleaching action is due to hydrogen and chlorine में bleaching action is due to oxygen. The bleaching action by sulfur dioxide, that is going to be temporary, and the bleaching action by chlorine, that is going to be permanent. So these are the two, this thing over here. So यहाँ पे जब ये जो oxygen है ऊपर बना है, ये coloring matter के साथ react करेगा to give us colorless matter. So this is how bleaching action of chlorine that is going to be carried out. ठीक है? Now while you're doing bleaching, there are 2 to 3 points which you need to remember over here. Number 1, chlorine bleaches only in the presence of water. Okay, so that I have already discussed कि अगर water नहीं होगा तो nascent oxygen नहीं बनेगा. So it bleaches only in the presence of water. Number 2, I have already discussed this also, that the bleaching action that is going to be permanent. ठीक है? And number 3, it cannot be used for delicate fibers like wool. So इसको हम generally use करते हैं for bleaching paper, pulp, wood pulp and cloth. ठीक है? So this is all about chlorine. Let's go on to the next one, that is hydrogen chloride. Next हमारे पास आता है hydrogen chloride. Now when we talking of hydrogen chloride, it was prepared by Glauber was the scientist जिसने इसको prepare करा था in the year 1648. ठीक है? और डेवी ने इसको शो करा इतने सालों के बाद. डेवी ने 1810 में कहीं जाके इसको शो करा कि it is a compound of hydrogen and chlorine. So it took so many years in order to explain the characteristics of HCl. ठीक है? Now when we doing the preparation of HCl जब हम करते हैं, it can be prepared by reacting NaCl with H2SO4 to give us NaHSO4 plus HCl. ठीक है? So this is how it can be prepared. The temperature maintained is going to be 420 Kelvin. ठीक है? Further, one more molecule of NaCl can react with NaHSO4 to give us Na2SO4 plus HCl. ठीक है? So this is how hydrogen chloride can be prepared. Let's go on to the properties. पहले physical properties करते हैं. Number 1, it is a colorless gas. Number 2, it has a pungent suffocating smell. ठीक है? Then number 3, it is highly soluble in water. और इसका जो water में mixture होता है, that is known as hydrochloric acid. The gas is known as hydrogen chloride, and its mixture in water, that is going to be known as hydrochloric acid. The gas fumes in moist air. This is a test also for HCl. It fumes in moist air. So these are the physical properties. Let's go on to the chemical properties now. When we are looking at the chemical properties of HCl, the first one, that is action with litmus. Action with litmus. Dry HCl has no effect on litmus. It is only moist HCl which is going to convert blue litmus to red. ठीक है? That is because इसका मतलब ये हुआ कि अगर हम लोग सिर्फ हाइड्रोजन क्लोराइड गैस ले रहे हैं तो that is not going to be acidic. It is the hydrochloric acid which is formed in the aqueous solution that is going to be acidic. ठीक है? So this is one conceptual question जो कि आपको आ सकता है. Then number 2, oxidation. When we're doing the oxidation of HCl, it is going to be converted. We've already done this reaction जो हमने preparation करी थी Deccan's process की अभी chlorine के लिए. So the same reaction we are going to do over here. 4HCl plus O2 in presence of a catalyst, CuCl2 to give us 2H2O plus chlorine. This is the oxidation of HCl. Then obviously it is going to be acidic in nature, and acidic nature is it behaves as an arsenious acid over here. So ये water के साथ react करती है to give hydronium ions in aqueous solution. That is the reason why it is going to behave as acidic. ठीक है? और इसकी acidic nature can be explained by many reactions. जैसे for example, if we are reacting metals with acids, it is going to liberate hydrogen. जैसे हमने 2Na लिया plus हमने HCl लिया, so this is going to give us 2NaCl plus H2. So this gives the acidic nature. Also, the neutralization reaction of HCl and NaOH. That is also going to explain the acidic nature of HCl. ठीक है? समझ में आ गया? फिर उसके बाद हमारे पास आता है HCl as a reducing agent. HCl as reducing agent. Reducing agent में we have just done the reaction again for the preparation of chlorine. HCl that is going to reduce MnO2. So we will get MnCl2 plus 2H2O plus chlorine. So this gives the reducing nature. Same reaction we just did for the preparation of chlorine, जिसमें हमने KMnO4 के साथ HCl की reaction करी है. So that will also show the reducing nature of HCl. ठीक है? Then it is used in the formation of aqua regia. Aqua regia क्या होता है? It is a combination of HCl and HNO3 in the ratio 3:1, and this is a solution which is used to dissolve noble metals like platinum, gold and silver. ठीक है? Aqua regia. Then what are going to be the uses of HCl? Uses जब हम कर रहे हैं, it is used in calico printing. What is calico printing? There is certain this क्या बोलते हैं इसको, जो टाइपराइटर की प्रिंटिंग होती है उसमें इसको यूज करते हैं. It is used in calico printing and in tanning industries. Calico printing and tanning industries. It is also used in the process of pickling. What is pickling? Pickling is the cleaning of the metal surface before electroplating या electro refining. Cleaning of, इसको clean कर रहे हैं हम metal surface. So this is what pickling is. Okay, before making the metal undergo electroplating, it has to be clear from impurities. तो उसको clean करने के लिए हम लोग ये method use करते हैं, which is pickling. Then it is used in the manufacture of Chlorine. It is used in the manufacture of chlorine, as we just done. It is used in the manufacture of aqua regia. Okay? And it is also used in many medicines. So this is all what we are going to do in today's lecture. We are only left with one important topic over here, which is the interreligion compounds, because it has a lot of structures, और वो structures आपको आ सकते हैं. So that is the last topic which we are going to do of group 17 and start with group 18. Okay?